Ever since I immigrated to Canada 25 years ago, I've wanted to explore the history of those who came before me. There's no better way to tell the story of Chinese Canadians than through the life and times of a restaurant owner. Think about it. There isn't a small town anywhere in this country that doesn't have a Chinese cafe. So today, I'm cruising the back roads of the province of Saskatchewan, looking for a place called Outlook. This is my second trip to this prairie town, and I'm here to tell the story of Noisy Jim.
You want more coffee, dog?
I first met Jim Kook, the owner of the new Outlook Café, 3 years ago. But Jim is 76 now, and time is running out. I'm worried that in a few years, the older generation of Chinese cafe owners won't be around to tell their stories. Jim still acts like the owner of the new Outlook, but in fact, that's not really the case. Even though he retired 7 years ago and sold his cafe to another immigrant couple, Ken and Ruby Chan, Jim continues to show up every morning at 6 to serve coffee to his loyal customers, just as he has done for the last 40 years.
You done long time ago.
I don't have to. All my life is always in the morning shift. I wake up 4 something every morning. Even I go to sleep at 2 in the morning, I still wake up. I say, what I do? I say, okay. They say they get too tired too long hour. I say, I get up and help you. Open up for you. I didn't do anything. So why not get up and help other people?
Are you making any money from this? Are you volunteering?
They offer me, but I never take any. Because the way, my way, the moment I take any pay, I'm not free, man. That way, I come and go what I like. And I don't like to owe anybody a favor. But I should like, I do you a favor, I'm somebody able to help out. I'm more happy. That's my way.
Oh yeah, I'm good sleeping away.
But the new Outlook is not really a Chinese restaurant. It doesn't serve anything remotely resembling Chinese food.
What you put me in there for? I'm not cooking.
Oh, but you are, sure you are. Look at you got the apron on and
Yeah, I just want to look.
you're supervising.
Yeah. Your breakfast is about ready.
Yeah, looks good.
But then these prairie cafes are never about Chinese food. They are about a nice cup of coffee with your bacon and eggs in the morning, or a generous cut of pork chops with mashed potatoes at lunch. Or if you drop by for a coffee and dessert after dinner, you can indulge in Jim's world-famous apple pie. But I asked Jim if he also serves Chinese food.
Canadian, and those Chinese food, not really as a real Chinese, they call American Chinese food. Well, egg roll, and even you make chop suey is different than a real Chinese restaurant for Chinese people. Chow mein and all that, it's not the same, right?
This is the modern cafe, 3 stores down from the new Outlook. Built in 1958, it is run by Chow Fong. He and Jim are cousins from the same village, but they act more like twins. And although the 2 restaurants are almost side by side, there's not a hint of competition between them.
In Chinese, in the old day, your same last name, they help each other.
Yeah,
They always get together.
Yep, all 4 seasons.
Like a Chinese, they call one tong, a tong, huh?
Yeah.
Anybody in trouble in that name, they chip in.
So you help each other out.
Oh yeah.
What about on your business? You compete. You have one cafe here.
No, company. No.
You know what? I run out there, I go both of them. Many times in the morning, his coffee urn broke down. He come over here and get some coffee back here.
No competition.
If we're short of something, we come over here to get it.
We open 5:30 in the morning 2 o'clock in the morning. Small town. Nobody can do that. We did.
We work hard and say we miss all of the holiday, all of the enjoyment where you guys, everybody goes. In our head, that's your obligation to serve the community.
Chinese cafes are more than just places to eat. They are an institution across the Canadian prairies. A community center, a place where families have grown up together, and they keep coming back. The bond that Jim has created with his customers is so deep that for many years he gave them keys so that they could open up in the morning and make their own breakfast. On their way out, they would just leave the money in a little box on the counter.
He used to have his customers open the place.
Make your own coffee?
Well, yeah, and turn on the guys would come in and turn on the grill, so when he got here, everything was ready. In fact, guys would go in the kitchen and cook their own breakfast.
There you are!
He is one of a kind.
He makes it that much noise that's why he's called Noisy Jim.
It makes your food go hard. It's noisy.
Some mornings it's so hard, so noisy that you can hardly hear yourself talk.
So small town people treat you better.
Oh, yeah. Even now, doesn't matter any time. Because everybody just like your neighbor, and in small town always better. You live in the city, your neighbor don't know you, even now. That's why I don't want to move to the city.
Can I go home now?
Yeah, you can go home now.
How do I go home?
Yeah, you can go home.
You keep aiming the gun at me.
You gonna go home?
Okay? Now who got the best? Who got the best of?
Is that real?
Should I make the noise?
Is that real?
Huh?
Oh!
See ya.
See you later. Have good dinner.
All right.
Chinese have been coming to Canada since the 1850s. Many were recruited at the end of the 19th century to help build the trans-continental Canadian Pacific Railroad. Chinese laborers were valued for their agility and hard work, and were often asked to perform the dangerous job of dynamiting in the mountains. Many died. It is said that a Chinese worker sacrificed his life for every mile of railroad. But when it was finished, the Chinese laborers who received only a third of the salary of other workers were no longer welcome. For years, the Canadian government made it difficult for Chinese to immigrate by imposing a head tax. Then in 1923, even this route was closed when Canada passed the Chinese Exclusion Act. For 24 years, until it was repealed in 1947, no Chinese workers were allowed in. But people found their way here. Jim came as a paper son, which means he used someone else's identity, a deceased Canadian citizen, to enter the country.
I understand father didn't pay money for. Way back in Vancouver, I learned, and that person have a quite sometime in financial trouble. My father helped him all the time. So by the time in China, the whole family go back to China. Two people has died. So he gave my father those two boys' identity, the paper and document, all that, for me to take their place to come to Canada to pay them what father used to be, help them.
Jim was only 12 when he crossed the Pacific on the ocean liner Empress of Russia, accompanied by his paper sister, the real daughter of his paper father. He remembers the voyage well.
1939, September. We stopped at Honolulu for 24 hours. And that midnight, we took off. This side declared war with Germany. And it so happened that two German submarines was in Pacific Ocean, submerged, go down water. They say chasing us. As nice ride, no wave, anything. Suddenly, all the suitcases inside room, run like a rabbit.
After the ship arrived in Vancouver, Jim took a train across the Canadian West to Outlook, traveling the same railroad the Chinese workers helped build some 60 years before. I wonder what he thought when he saw the vast open spaces of the prairies for the first time.
We didn't stop anywhere. You know why?
Why?
Because we came to Canada illegal, right? We use somebody else's name. We don't want anybody else to know. If we stop in anywhere, somebody else know, they can black market you, huh? They might report to the government.
Were you scared? Did you know that you were doing something illegal?
I know.
Your father told you?
Because that sister we talk about got to give us all the information we know when you go through immigration.
Memorize your birthday.
Your name, everything about your brothers. They ask all this question when you go to immigration office in Hong Kong. And come to this side, also they ask question again. So they got to give me all that information to answer right.
Do you consider yourself Chinese at that time? Or you consider yourself Canadian?
Chinese and Canadian. You call myself Chinese Canadian because my paper's name, I'm born in Canada. I'm myself. That's what I think about it. I am me. Canadian, Chinese, Japanese, Italian, no matter. I am me. So I never think any differently.
What was the name you used before you have the paper name? Did you remember your name?
Yeah.
What was it? Not the paper name, but your real name.
Then I got to tell you in Chinese language.
Yeah? Tell me in Chinese language.
Chao Hong Kong.
When you came here, your paper says Chow Kook. And when you went to...
Chao Jim Kook.
Chow Jim Kook.
Yeah.
Jim J-I-M?
Yeah, J-I-M.
But Jim is a Chinese name? Also, no? It's James?
You could be, because you get a translation in sound.
You don't know, huh? And then...
Well, let's say all those years everybody call you Jim. Well, what the heck, eh? Just a name anyway. All you pick a name, they represent anything. It don't bother me. As long as you don't call me stupid nut or anything.
Jim came to Outlook to work for his paper father, Chow Yuan, better known as Fat Kook. Chow Yuan, also from Jim's native village of Hoi Ping, paid the $500 head tax in 1923 and found a job in Vancouver. Lured by the promise of better opportunities in the prairies, he made his way east on a train, settling Outlook. But he could only find work doing one of the few jobs Chinese were permitted. Women's work, as it was called at that time. Washing, cooking, and cleaning.
When he first came, he told me he was a housekeeper for a doctor. $4 a month for 3 years. But he sent money home.
But permission to enter Canada did not guarantee these men a normal life. Chinese women were denied entry. Deprived of wives and children, theirs was a bachelor society without hope for the future. When the Exclusion Act was finally repealed, Chinese workers like Noisy Jim could now look to China for a bride. All marriages were arranged. Jim traveled back to China with his paper father Chow Yuan and his cousin Chow Fong. I asked Jim whether he and Fong were told of the purpose of the trip. So your father wants you to go back to China?
Yeah.
What, 48?
47.
47. Why? Why does he want you to go?
I know why, but he didn't say.
He didn't tell you?
No, I knew.
Why?
Want to get married.
Ah.
I did.
But he wants you to go back to China and find a wife.
Yeah, he gone with me. He took me with him.
Yeah.
And I knew what will happen.
Go? Did you want to go?
Not like it too much, but I did go.
You find your wife?
I don't know what you call find my wife. Yeah, I lost my freedom then.
Oh, you lost your bachelorhood. All your freedom gone.
That's right.
How can you stand it?
Well, she haven't got a choice. Because she said, yes, I do. She gotta do it. Okay, now you can ask her again.
Jim and Fong brought their wives back to Canada in 1949. Jim and his new wife May first settled on the west coast in British Columbia. But 10 years later, Chow Yuan called him back to Outlook to help run his new Outlook Café.
Come on.
On a very cold day, Jim and Fong take me to the city of Moose Jaw. They told me that in the 1920s, Al Capone, a notorious American gangster, had employed many Chinese workers to build an elaborate system of underground tunnels where he hid from the law.
6 miles from here.
On the drive here, Jim mentioned that his paper father, Chow Yuan, is buried in the Chinese cemetery. But it took us a while to convince him to find the grave.
No, that's too much. That's right. That's the name. That's the picture.
Where's your mother?
Down that way.
Yeah. You want to be buried here after you die as well?
Don't talk things like that. Chinese don't like.
Okay. Surviving in these vast open prairies was a challenge for Chinese immigrants. Many established themselves as restaurant owners in small towns across the West. Here, they worked hard and raised their families, becoming an integral part of the communities they served. Today, these Chinese cafes are as common to the prairie landscape as grain elevators, flat country roads, and the never-ending sky. Here, Jim and May have raised 7 children, 5 girls and 2 boys. None of the children wanted to follow in their father's footsteps and run a restaurant, but they're very proud of their parents. And on my way home, I stopped in Saskatoon to visit Jim's daughter, Barbara.
Growing up as a kid, it was, I think we had a lot of resentment because, like you said, we assimilated with the community. Our friends were all the people in town, and we helped out a lot at the restaurants, so we didn't have a lot of free time. But now, looking back as an adult, I can appreciate the values that we learned from that, the discipline, and the result of a close family unit and a warm family unit. when you said how much our mom and dads respected is when they had the retirement party, that when they retired and sold the restaurant, and the community put on a retirement party. It was just overwhelming how many people came out and showed their support, and it just showed how much they appreciated him. And I guess that, again, brought home to us just how much he has, what kind of impact he has on the community. And he's always said to us, you know, it's family and community first, and he's lived by that code.
So your children are very proud of you, are they?
Yeah.
Very proud of you?
I brought them up right. I give them all the education. And they help. Actually, they earn it, you know. They don't get a raise of pay every time they help. They come home.
You don't want your kids to be running restaurants?
No, they don't want it either. Hard work, low pay. They learn the skill and education. They can sit in a rocking chair and why bother with all that? You know, cafe is a long hour hard work. If we calculate what hour we get paid, we're lucky if we get 50 cents an hour.
Jim is so popular in the town that people tried many times to get him to run for mayor. But he always turned them down with a big laugh. One night, I asked Jim and Fong about their recipe for success.
Hard life, happy life. Same thing like hard, I can enjoy it.
So hard and happy life.
A happy life, yep. Yep. So I happy. I make money.
As long as you enjoy your work, doesn't matter what pays, eh?
You got a kid.
They pay you big money, you work in some big company, all those big hassle, you not enjoy it?
You get ulcers.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do you believe in God?
I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I do believe in spirit.
See, only to me, my con, only to me.
And who do they talking to you? Your soul. A car, your body just like a car to me. Who make the car go? The gasoline, the man drive it. Who make you walk? Who make you thinking? Your soul, your spirit.
Jim died 2 years after I last saw him. I've come back to Outlook to attend his funeral. The cafe is closed for the first time that anyone in town can remember.
One alumnus came back after 25 years of being away. They'd never been back to Outlook. Walked into the restaurant.
The mayor, the ice hockey team Jim sponsored, and the whole town have come to pay their final respect.
Jim greeted them by name and said, "Would you like such and such?" And they said, "Why would you say that?" They said, 25 years ago, that's what you always ordered. Anyone who has that kind of memory of people holds people in high regard. I think that Jim, in his delightful, rough-hewn way, has showed us what service is about.
In China, tradition dictates that the deceased be carried around the home 3 times before the interment in the cemetery. There is no question where Jim's coffin will go today. Noisy Jim circles the block 3 times for a final farewell to his new Outlook Café.
Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid. The words of Jesus, the gospel of our Lord.